we're answering your questions on these braid extensions. These are questions taken right from our Facebook group, The Wildcrafted Woman, that we're gonna answer for you today.
Okay, first question from the Facebook group is from Tina B, and she says, can you turn Wildcrafted Beauty double-ended extensions into a single-ended extension? Can we cut them?
I don't ever recommend cutting the extensions because they're not gonna look the same. The taper's not gonna be correct on them, all of those things. We do have longs and shorties, so if you want them shorter, just go with the shorties. Now, when it comes to turn them into a single-ended, one thing women will do is they'll actually take our piggybacking method where you fold the extension in half, put a rubber band around it and loop it and make it into a single-ended extension that way.
Next question is from Brandy M, and she said, can we participate in a mud run with Wildcrafted Beauty extensions in?
I wouldn't personally. I can't imagine trying to get that mud out of them. I would take them out for that. Protect your protective hairstyle. Just wear your natural hair. I actually had one day here at the warehouse as we were moving in where we hung plants on the wall out by our dining table area, and I was trying to adjust one and I dropped it on my head. And I was like, how do I get this out? So I ended up having to try and brush it all out, and then all the dirt would come out until I fully took my extensions out and washed them. But I would not recommend a mud run with them in. I would just take it out.
Okay, so the next one is from Crystal HF. She says, what do you do with the tips of the ends of your natural hair if you run out of room on the dread to braid?
So do a ladder stitch if you're running out of space. You want to make sure that you're keeping that braid really high and tight and close together. So rather than having a crisscross motion going down it, you're going to keep that braid really, really high. You want to keep all of it on the actual dreaded part. You never want to braid down onto the wavy part because those ends will dread into it. Ask me how I know. We've all had first experiences for things and learn from my mistakes. Don't ever braid onto that part. So you want to keep it really high and tight up there.
All right, so the next question is from Susan RC, and her question is, how do I add a ponytail of dreads when my extensions aren't installed?
Susan, I have the answer for you. So this is actually extensions that I have that are very matured, mixed in with some of our braid accents as well. And I just threw them on a ponytail. So that way when I have my natural hair out, I could put this in a ponytail and wear this and kind of just have a bun or something if I want to. So I literally just took and folded my extensions over the ponytail holder and then rubber banded it on there so that they're all just looped on there. You can take them on and off easily. So if you want to lend them in your hair, you can. I guess you could also just cut the ponytail if you want to get them off, really fast. But this is what I have done to add a little bit of flair to my natural hair.
Next question is from Michelle B. She said, do you braid your hair to the braid end of the dread or to the dreaded end of the dread? Because I've seen it done both ways.
So you can absolutely with these install multiple ways. So I have seen people flop it around different directions. The way that they're made to be installed though is to actually put the braided section up against your scalp. So I like to actually go right next to the dreaded section. So if I'm going to start right here, that part is going to go up against your scalp, and then you are going to begin braiding down the dreaded section. Now that being said, if you have hair that is kind of too long to fit on the dreaded section, our shorties have a smaller section here. Our long ones have long Venus have more dreaded section to braid onto. You can actually start up higher here. And so some women will start up high closer to where the wavy hair starts if you need more space to braid onto. So this is how they're meant to be installed, because that way this braid, it folds over really easily. If you install it the other way, they're gonna stick up like that. That's why we added the braid in, is for comfort and so that they lay a lot more naturally. And so having it fold over like that, it's gonna be perfect.
So the next one is, how do you take these out? I had to remove some at the bottom of my neck, pulled my hair out, and I couldn't unwrap it from the dread.
Oh no, okay. This is gonna come out of this mannequin a lot easier because you've got synthetic hair on synthetic hair. So my extensions come out actually pretty tough because I have naturally curly hair. First things first, get a trim before you install them. If you have split ends, those are going to latch on to your extension here. But you need to be patient with this. So especially with those ones underneath, for me especially, I have I got new sheets recently and they shed like crazy. So the fuzz that gets stuck in them, if you're wearing sweaters or jackets, all that fuzz and stuff can get stuck in there. So you mix that in with oils, the way things are rubbing, those ones can get stuck a lot more. So I'm gonna show you how you're going to remove these. So first of all, you're gonna take your band cutter and you're just gonna cut your band. So slide that through there, cut it out. You can reuse these bands. I cut mine out because we got time. I guess some people do. I don't. And I'm actually gonna cut it in 2 different spots because it's not sliding right out. Okay, so you're gonna take your band off and then you're gonna slowly pick at it. So get a comb with the parting tip on it. And I always start off like this. And this is gonna come out, again, way easier than your natural hair is because it's just been sitting here. It's not been worn and rubbed on things and slept on and stuff. But I'm literally gonna go right about where it crosses at, and this is how I'm going to remove it. And pieces might stick on there. I have very fine hair and I have curly hair, so mine grabs on a lot. But that's how you're gonna do it. And then eventually you'll be able to just kind of grab it, and especially if you have nails, that makes it easier where you can just pull them out little by little, like this. And remember that you're gonna have hairs that have released from your head, so that those can get tangled as well. Sometimes up by the root, they're gonna be tangled because they've released from your head and they're just kind of like hanging out there. And that's just from your natural hair loss. You're gonna lose 60 to 100 strands a day. Eventually, it'll probably just be able to pull out. That's what mine do. I like to make sure that like I haven't freshly washed my hair when I remove them because all that crown nectar makes them slide out. And then you're gonna go through and you're gonna comb from the bottom up. So you're gonna go, sometimes it takes a little bit of time going through here. Even if this is underneath, that's like when you're really gonna have baby hairs, sometimes fuzz and stuff in there, and you're gonna work your way all the way up to the root of it. And so up here, sometimes you'll even have some dreading where those hairs have released from your head and they will start to dread together and almost feel like a little bit of a hard ball. Take your time and comb through it. If you're having a hard time with it, put some crown nectar on there. That's gonna break up the oils and stuff there, and then you'll be able to comb through it just fine. And then you'll have your kinky curly little afro hair. And that's how you're gonna remove it.
Delilah, come on, get out of here. The next question from the group is from Tracy L. And she said, what fibers are these made out of?
So these are made out of a fiber called high heat resistant synthetic fiber. I don't like the name. I didn't get to name it. I would say we should let 4-year-old name it because the name would have been way better. But
yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So it's a proprietary fiber where it is a high heat resistant. So normal extensions are usually made with things like Kanekalon, Henlon. They are a low to medium heat resistant fiber, which means you're not even supposed to use a hair dryer on high heat on them. Ours, I would not recommend straightening them. I will say I have tried a flat iron on them just because I was like curious how high heat resistant they were. They did not melt, but they straightened out. I'm not recommending that you straighten your extensions. Okay, so not me recommending, but that I just wanted to know how high heat resistant they were because I wanted to know that any hair dryer would be fine with them. So like if a flat iron, and mine was an old ass flat, like this is from high school flat iron, I still have it, okay? Like, so it's probably gets hotter than it's even supposed to. Like, and now I know that any hair dryer is gonna be fine with this, so you can blow dry them.
This is from Michelle T, and she said, my natural hair is about waist length. Is this going to complicate trying to get Wildcrafted Beauty extensions?
They are going to take longer to braid in because there's just more hair there. But the number one thing I would say is that you need to 100% do the OG extensions. That has 10 inches of the dreaded section so that you have all that space to braid onto. I would say with the OG longs, there is the same amount of space, including the braid when it comes to like the Venus. But I would say overall, like your best braiding experience, your best install, your most comfort, you're going to want the OGs.
This is from Kathy M. She says, how do you know when your extensions are matured?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Because they mature more and more over time. They're really gonna get to this place where they have lots of twists and locks around them. So I'll show a close-up of this one. I mean, you can see these ones here, they've been worn with other colors. So you can even see there's some other colors matured around there. But they're gonna get kind of bumpy. They're gonna have a little bit more of a firm texture to them. And then they're gonna have like different hairs locked around. So I'm gonna show you here close. So this is a fully matured one that has some like quirkiness to it. We have another one here that is fully matured. So you can see all these tiny pieces wrapped around. This has fully locked and dreaded up. This is my favorite set right here, like piece of my favorite set because they are so easy once they've locked up.
And what makes them easier, like once they're matured?
So they're not gonna tangle together as much. So when I have my most matured set in, I don't really have to crown nectar them that often. I'll just like put a few pumps in my hand each day and then I'll kind of just like run my hands through them real quick. And then I'll put crown nectar on my scalp. I need a lot of moisture in my scalp, so I use crown nectar on my scalp a lot. And that's basically it. Like I don't have to go through one by one. I can sleep without a bonnet. I can be outside and not worry about the wind tangling. I live where it's very windy, so I don't worry about the wind tangling them up and stuff. And they are easy.
Okay, this is from Monica C. And she said, am I the only one that hates a new install? I feel like they're so stiff. They lay funky for like 3 weeks. Why are they like this? What am I doing wrong?
3 weeks is a long time. I kind of agree that if they're brand new extensions, they are more stiff at first, so they kind of like bend a little bit more over time. So something that actually Leslie, one of our girls that works here, has done, she actually, when she detoxes hers, she then like folds them in half and uses like, I think chip clips to like let them dry. So they kind of have that little bit of a bend already. So she'll fold them right at where the braid and the dread come together. So that can help with it a lot. I've never done that, but I've heard of a few people doing it and they find it really helpful. But But when it comes to a new install, I think it depends on the person and how you wear your hair. So like I will tend to wear it in like a high pony like this when it's a fresh install because they are more stiff. Now as they get more loose, like the hairstyle you have in right now where it's a more relaxed pulled back, I love that too. It has like more of that hippie vibe. To me, it's just changing up which hairstyles I do when based on what's happening, because like as mine get looser, if I try and do this hairstyle, like I feel like I have a cone head because they almost like pull weird. So I think it's kind of learning which hairstyles work best at like which phase of your install that you're in.
Okay, this is from Betsy A. And she said, I showed my husband the dreads. He laughed. And I was crushed. She wants to hear supportive husband stories.
Yeah, where's Lance when I need him?
I know. That's what, like, that's so crazy that he came in here. But I was like, I know just like from being around y'all that you definitely have some supportive husband stories.
Yeah, and like here's the thing, this is probably gonna be more advice. This might be relationship advice, I don't know. To me, there's something interesting about the fact that you would show your spouse something and they would laugh at it. And it's not like a specifically like, you're not showing a meme to laugh at it. There is a lack of support there that honestly pisses me off. But like, I think a conversation of like, hey, I didn't feel supported in this at all. Didn't feel like you were there for me. I really want to do something for myself. Like you laughed at me. Like that's, to me, that would be a massive big deal if something like that happened. And so I mean there are tons of women whose obviously spouses support it, even if they don't prefer that look on their spouse. That was one thing, is like I learned early in my marriage, and my husband learned it especially, like he used to be a lot more picky about things, but he saw like as I was like, hey, I want to get my nose pierced, and he was like, I don't know, that makes me nervous, and he was like, oh, she's more herself. Like he watched me come out and become more myself, therefore I was more confident, therefore it changed our relationship and like how we interact with one another. And so I think that's the thing, is there are sometimes men that are very scared of change because they're afraid. Like, I think women as a whole tend to be more growth minded, and there's men tend to be less growth minded at times, and it scares them sometimes. And we have to not hold ourselves back because of that. We have to like give them the opportunity to catch up and be like, hey, I'm doing this because it's what matters to me. I would like for you to not laugh at this. This is what I care about and what I like. And if they can't do that, then that's like a whole nother situation you have to like obviously deal with there. Yeah, I think it's important to do what works for you. Surround yourself with people who are supportive of you. Obviously you have to analyze your relationship and your marriage then at that point. I mean, because obviously I don't know this person, or just I've seen comments like this in general, like this, so this is like a blanketed thing, like it may be where your relationship is at, right? Like I don't know how people's marriages are, how strong they are, how connected they are in general. If it's already struggling, that could be the case or something. Overall, I think we need to surround ourselves with people that are supportive of us. So whether, even if our spouse doesn't feel supportive, like what people are you surrounding yourself with that are there for you doing what makes you feel good about yourself?
I'm gonna run out to my house and see if I can find my damn back brace. It's killing me. It's just.
You mean your nicotine? Wait, hold on. That didn't look like your back. You were doing something with your back. That looked like you. Okay.
I don't know how to twerk.
You mean the nicotine that's like draining down your throat doesn't just burn that pain away?
I wish.
Stay alive.
I am. Staying alive.
I knew it was gonna do it.
Ow, 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 ow.
I have a song to reference everything.
They got her? Oh, heck yeah. So it's anonymous, and she said, I really need to know what to do to combat a bed bug infestation. My house is being treated, but I don't know what to do about my extensions.
I can't even speak to that. Talk to an exterminator.
Whenever
I would not be putting them back at like.
Yeah, whenever I researched
back in my hair, I would burn it all down. This is why I always say, I've seen people be like, hey, can I like sell my extensions or buy used one or something? We don't share underwear, we don't share hair. Okay, I think a bed bug could definitely scabies, any kind of illness can get into the actual dreaded section. Like you can detox that, but do you know that detoxing is actually getting in there and killing and cleaning out that exact thing? No. And even if it was a bed bug or lice, do you want a dead lice just staying in there, even if it was killed? So, I mean, I would, if there's a chance of it being in your hair, I would start fresh with a new set. For more content like this, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.